Welcome to another 10 of 10 for 10 training and leadership development. Let me underline leadership development today because we're going to talk about elements that really kind of play into leadership development. And we're very excited about our current growth. It's been 6 months since we rolled out the $10 pool, and it's been like, 4 months since we've had our own coin out in the market, the PFB coin. And we're making good progress for the early stages, what I would refer to as early adoption. I just posted a short video, like less than 2 minutes long, on the Telegram group about having the ability to see things from another person's perspective. Okay, and it's important as we develop those leadership skills that we have that capacity to be able to see things from a different point of view. One of the founding principles that I run everything I do in my life is to support the strong and to train the weak. And in pool funding, we got several that would fit into the category of leaders. And believe it or not, as much as you might think some of these leaders are bulletproof, like they are just, amazing people, they do need support. Okay. And they'll be the first to admit it, that support is welcomed and appreciated very much. Okay. And then so support the strong and train the weak. And the reason we want to do that is because we like people to grow and develop and become strong, right? So we don't want someone that is stagnant in weakness, dragging parts of the team down. We want to see where there might be once weakness becomes strength. And so training is part of that.
Okay.
I just got to mute somebody real quick. All right, so check out that video. I think it was well done. It's on the YouTube channel for pool funding, and give it some thought. Think about it in the sense that how valuable is it that we have the ability to see things from another point of view? Too often we get caught up in our own point of view. We have our, this is what I want, this is what I'm doing, this is where I'm going. And sometimes we put the blinders on and don't want to look at anything else. And then things don't always go like we might expect. And then that's where trouble begins, right about there. That's where drama can enter the picture. And honestly, I'd love pool funding just to be a drama-free zone, to be frank with you. Okay. And so if we can manage to make pool funding a drama-free zone, we'll grow much faster. Okay. But we have to sometimes stop and ask ourselves, is our frustrations or disappointments or anything negative like that, are those things really necessary? Or can we maybe pause and say, let's try a different perspective on, let's take this shirt off and put a new shirt on, right? And see how you feel, maybe by looking at things from a different point of view. Because maybe we're being too critical, or maybe we're being expecting too much too soon, or maybe we don't have clear understanding or clarity about something. There could be a lot of reasons why we have unreasonable expectations, or we have unnecessary disappointments, and we get caught up in a negative emotional state, and it's contagious. Okay, that's my concern right there. Is when one person has the contagion, they can pass it on, and you end up with a section of the group with that catches that, and then the whole group has got to deal with it, right? And so it's best at the individual level if we just kind of take and listen to the advice of this video, and that is just pause, be able to sort yourself out, think in terms of like, know the difference between positive and negative, and just make your default positive, right? And sometimes in order to do that, you got to step out of your own seat and move into the seat of another and look at it from their point of view, and to be able to see things in a more positive light. We're also dealing with technology. And I'll be the first one to tell you that I've got a love-hate relationship with technology. I love it when it works, and I hate it when it doesn't. And I think we can all relate to that. But at the end of the day, it's important that we have a steady approach to growth, and we, each of us on the individual level, are managing our emotional states in a way that we're spreading something positive and not something negative. And that's going to give our group the fertilizer it needs and the nourishment that it needs to just keep surging forward and growing faster and faster. Now, what is my intent? My intent is to create millionaires. I'd like to get some feedback on that from you guys. Have I made my intentions clear?
Oh, yes.
Of
Very.
course.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Very much so, Ace. Very much.
Okay.
Yes,
Good.
you have.
I'm not just interested in creating, helping people, kind of just get by a little bit better. I really do want to create millionaires. And I actually designed pool funding to kind of streamline that. So a person could just only 4 people, you can get there. But hey, the ability to deal with these 4 people matters a lot, because it may not be the first 4 people that you think it might be. When you go out there and look at who's going to plug in with you on pool funding, and you're going to end up with 4 if you really are determined to make that happen. You'll get 4 for sure if you're determined. You might end up with more than 4, okay? But now you've got to you got to have an ongoing relationship of trust with these 4 people. Life's going to get in the way. Situations are going to come up. There's just things that are outside of our control, and we have to be able to deal with that. And we have to help these 4 people also be able to deal with things in a way that it comes out a win-win for everyone, okay? What can you do for me? Okay. I don't know. This has always resonated with me. I don't know if it's relevant today or not, but it's always resonated with me. But something one of our great presidents said that I just hear it in my ears, and it just rings and rings. And this president of the U.S. once said, "Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country." You guys know who I'm talking about?
Mhm.
Yes.
Who is that?
John
Yes.
Kennedy.
Yeah, JFK,
Jeff Kennedy.
I often wonder what would have happened if he actually got to complete his term or terms and he wasn't assassinated. What kind of country would we have today? You guys ever think about that?
That'd be very different.
I do.
Probably a much better.
I think it would have turned out much better. I believe it would have. Absolutely. I think that was a downturn for us as a country, for those that are US citizens anyway. So I wonder how many people in America feel good about that statement today. Makes me wonder. But the same thing's kind of true here. Sometimes we have our own thing that we'd like to get when it comes to, we want to use pool funding to get this or get that, you know what I'm saying? But at the same token, we also want it to be a win-win for everyone, right? Yes, can we agree on that? Isn't it
Yes.
better if everybody gets to win, right?
Yes.
So don't you think we can also ask the question, what can I do for pool funding? Which leaders can I support? Is there a way to support Ace on his mission to create millionaires? Is there something I can do? And I can give you itemize a few things that you can do. Would you guys like to know what those are?
Yes.
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 Item number 1, as far as I'm concerned, show up to training. Okay. So I want to
Gotcha.
do a big round of applause to those that are here right now. I'm going to applaud you. Okay. Join me. Come
Thank
on,
you, Ace.
clap.
Yay.
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 You showed up. Okay. Second step of success is to show up, and you're here. I applaud that. But we got almost 1,200 people in this community. Why is there only 28 here? Some things make you go,
Good question.
I mean, I'm offering
Right.
$1 million, right? I'm offering you $1 million a year. You're not going to show up and collect it? Doesn't make sense to me, you know? So yeah, I think we could do much better is showing up. I think we could, I think we get 1,000 people here in Zoom if we just understood the value of showing up. Okay. So, and I realize that the time is not convenient for everyone. Okay. I mean, for some people, it's past their bedtime, you know, they've already had their warm glass of milk and they're out like a light already by the time 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time hits. And I get it. Okay. But on the other hand, it's not 10 p.m. all over the whole U.S. People in California, it's more like 6 or 7 p.m. for them, right? But anyway, regardless of the time, it's on YouTube, right? It's on YouTube. So why would a person not watch content by someone that, you know, has the level of experience that I bring to bear? I don't want to brag or boast, but I just want to say I have the experience that all of you would like to have. I'm sure of it. I'd like you, you know, like to pass it on, and I can verbally tell you what it's like and how to get there. But if you don't listen, how are you going to get the message? So if you can't come live, then watch it on YouTube. But if you're not watching on YouTube, and I can tell by the number of counts every video gets, just how many people are watching. And you know, most of them are double digit. They're not triple digit numbers. Okay. So I know most of the people that are in pool funding, they're not even taking on the training. And I show up 7 days a week, right? So again, look at this from my point of view. I'm working very hard. I've been very diligent, and I've been offering transparency, and you know, I'm trying to be as warm and as friendly as I possibly can be. You know, you go a little deeper into personality. It's not so warm and friendly. It's a little more prickly. You get down into the sharp edges of the personality, but I don't lead with that. I lead with the more of the warmth and the friendliness of this personality that's here, this ego. Okay. And you know, I try to make the experience good when people show up to the training or if they're watching the training. Okay. Because I want to get the messages out there. But if people aren't paying attention to the messages, they have no idea what they're missing out on. Would you guys agree with that?
Yep.
Yes.
I agree.
And isn't every day different? Like, you have no idea. It's a box of chocolates with me, right? You never know what you're going to get, right? You show up,
Absolutely.
True.
it's a surprise every time, right?
Love them.
I don't tell you ahead of time what the agenda is. A lot of times I don't even know what the agenda is until 30 or 40 minutes before the training. I'm just kind of pulling it out of, you know, my divine connections, if you want to call it that. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of where I'm grabbing my information. And this is what you guys need to hear right now. We need to see things from a different point of view. And it's time for this group that's come together, this core group, to actually take a step and look at it from my point of view. It's important. We get there now. Okay. Training. Get the training. It's there daily. Take advantage of it. And I try to keep it bite-sized, 10, 15 minutes a day. The next thing, you want to see things from my point of view, the next thing you can do is you know, bring in a team member. Okay. Right now we've been working on 10 for 10 for 10, right? 10 at 10 for 10. We've been doing that for a couple of months now. We're not at 10 people a day yet. Okay. But there's almost 1,200 of us. So why don't we have 10 people joining? I don't think enough of us are putting invitations out there regularly, right? If you don't have at least 2 people, you don't have a reason to stop inviting. You need to either start inviting or something. And if you need to, really start leaning on your leaders and say, you know, I'm just kind of stuck, and just open up to them. Let your leaders know why you're stuck. What's holding you back from getting out there and inviting people? Because we're doing our very best to make this, like, you don't have to have skill. We're not asking anyone to suddenly turn into a salesperson. You know, we're not asking anyone to be like this master recruiter that can, you know, just sign up people. You know, but if you're stuck, maybe myself or a leader or somebody can help you get unstuck. You just need to ask for help. Okay. And it doesn't hurt to go all the way to the top source and ask for help either. I really believe in that. I do that every day myself. Believe me, I need it. So look, ask for help. if you don't have it, if you don't have two, you need to ask for help because you're kind of muddying up our pool. The longer you don't have two, you're sitting in the pool getting sunburned, okay? And it's not good for the whole community for you just to hang out there and hang out there. That ice cube's going to melt away, and you know you're going to have to keep put more money in. It just doesn't work. It's much better if you just go for it and just get unstuck somehow, okay? So I think training will help by plugging into that, and then go get a couple of people, okay? And that's it. If you get up to 2 people, 3 people, 4 people, I'm going to be very, very happy about you, right? 2, 3, 4 people. If you do more than that, you're just going to get more of my attention, right? When I hear about this person's got 5 people, got 6 people, I want to get close to those people. I want to, they're my leaders. They're the ones I'm looking for, you know? They're the ones I'm trying to, you know, provide even more support to, okay? So as you excel and get more than 4 people, you're going to get my attention. I promise you that. And you're going to get my time. I promise you that. Okay. And I'm going to spend even some one-on-one time with you. Okay. And really just try to guide you as you develop into a pool funding leader. Okay. So that's my point of view. And that's how you can help me help you. Okay. Get the training. The training should lead to you to getting 2, 3, 4 people. And that's the whole point of it. And that's why I do it 7 days a week. Okay. And then if there's any reason you're not getting 2, 3, 4 people, most likely you're not inviting anyone. And there's something that's preventing you. And it's just mostly someone's got to talk you out of your resistance to try. Okay. And just, you know, open up to that. Open up to the idea of letting that go, because you're not going to make it here on sub accounts. Okay. You're not going to last. You may be able to hang in 2, 3, 4 months. But the sub accounts, you're going to burn out. I guarantee it. You got to get two people, and you got to work with those 2 people, right? And if you get 3, great. If you get 4, even better. That puts you on track for millionaire. Okay. And we want this to work for you. So use pool funding the way it was meant to be used. It's here for you. I built this more for you than I built it for myself. If I built something for myself, I'd be paying myself a lot better than I am right now. Okay. First of all. And secondly, you know, I wouldn't have to deal with as many people. Okay. If I was doing something for myself. But what's the point of that? I'm looking at this more from like having meaning for life. So I'm putting myself on a grand mission, a vision of changing the world. And that's why I do what I do. And in the end, I think that serves my higher self, right? The lower self wants to just sit back on the couch and watch TV. Okay. That's my lower self. Okay. My higher self wants to explore the stars, you know, and you know, experience it all and have complete freedom to go and do anything in the cosmos. That's my highest self. And, you know, and I'm leaning more that direction. That's why I put so much time and energy and effort into what I do. And I see a great need in humanity that we're being crushed by the institutions. We're being crushed by the, you know, the overbearing governments that are in this world that are suppressing mankind down to the point where they're choking them out of their money. I mean, it's ridiculous that there's less than 1% of the money in the world floating around the global economy. The institutions have soaked it all up, 99% of it. That doesn't make any sense to me, right? I've found a way to poke a hole in that and pour it out. I just need more of us to make that hole bigger and bigger and bigger. The more of us, the bigger that hole gets, and we can pour more money out and pour it out faster, because we'll never be able to drain it. It's so big up there, we'll never drain it, okay? That's the good news. So support my effort in bringing that money down from the market into the hands of the people, back into the economy. And with that, that's my training for you today. I hope you gained something from that. It's been a little bit long, so I'm just going to wrap it up here and say bye for now. And those tuning in on YouTube, thank you for watching on YouTube. We do appreciate you. Please give us a like and subscribe to this channel. And we do appreciate positive comments. Bye for now.